Okay guys, just a little post-ride banter, and I wanted to follow up. If you saw my ride down LP on this, I did fall over on my bike. Now I made it through a real techy, rocky section where I picked a bad line, and then as I was going up the other technical little rocky climbing section that was right after it, I couldn't ratchet enough to get into the right spot to go over those rocks. And that kind of brings me to, should I be using smaller cranks? So like I said, I'm gonna probably just build up another hardtail, and but I would like to play around with crank arm length, and this is 175, go down to 160 or 165, play around with different chain ring size. This is a 32 oval, which kind of goes wanders from 32 to 34 to 30. When you do oval, it kind of changes the way it feels, but going down to 30 or even a 28, because I will stick with my 46. And like I was saying, if I build up another bike geared, I'm almost thinking of doing like a 1x11 with the way I kind of finagle that 11-speed shifter pod with the 11-speed XT derailleur, and made it work with the newer Shimano brakes, because these newer Shimano brakes are meant to work only with the 12-speed, but I made them work with that. And of course on this side I have it with my integrated with my wolf tooth dropper. I love those dropper levers. I might switch on my other one to wolf tooth if I can get a blue one to match, or even if I get like a oil slick one. So anyway, that's the only thing I would like to consider changing. But like I said, we were talking, you would have to raise the seat height, and then at that point I would like to get a longer dropper. So maybe just get a whole new hardtail when I have most of the parts to build it up, and go with that different stuff. So I wanted to give you a little close-up of what I did with my brakes, and when I went to the larger rotors, and a shout out to the guys over at Better Bolts, and they have those button head ones that look really nice in there. And then this is Revell, I forget the name of this, and they got these little things that space it out, but were matching orange. And then the Better Bolts, and then this has the Better Bolts and stuff in here with the extender. So those are 180s instead of a 160 in the back on my single speed. This is just 180. Like I said, I would have done front and back the same way on my single speed, but I ordered the wrong one of these. This kind of is weird the way this clamps in here, but I do like, and these are the little idiosyncrasies I like with my hardtails, is I like when the brake is tucked in here instead of sticking up out here. I kind of like that, and I feel like it kind of protects it a little bit more. I mean, you've got, of course, you have your derailleur sticking out on the other side. It's gonna could get clipped off, and I have clipped those off before on some of my older bikes, but with the Shadow they are tucked in a little bit more. And but I do prefer to get a mid or long cage. I don't think the short cages, well, I guess with a 46 you probably could. I'm not sure. I like this dropper post, but I was thinking if I get a new bike I'm going to get a different dropper post just so I can get something longer. And I will stick with 31/8. Now these are low rise. I might go a little bit higher rise, but this bike, when I first got it, it felt like it had a really high stack height. So I thought, well, I don't want to have a high stack height and have high bars and just feel like it's way too high for the climbs. So this is why I have the low rise, and that's only like a 10 millimeter rise. I wish I would have got maybe a 20, but I don't know. We'll see what the new bike is. I've always stuck with 50 stems. I did have a 35 and I tried it and I didn't like it. It was just too short. So or I think it was a 40. These are an interesting design. It's like this clamshell design, so there's bolts underneath here and then bolts right there to hold in your bar. So that's kind of an interesting stem design. It makes it a little bit more of a hassle because you actually split the stem in half to take off your bars. But I've been happy with it. I've never had any problems with it. Probably need a new saddle. This one's getting a little bit torn up. Anyway, thanks for watching and thanks for listening to my post-ride banter. Let me take you out with a spin with this beautiful Hadley hub. I've had this Hadley hub for a long time. It's seen about 3 bikes, I think maybe 4. But they just go and go and go. And just regular bearings. I think I got these bearings off of Amazon. And nothing special. I mean, they're enduro bearings, but they weren't like anything special, like ceramic or anything like that. I don't know. I tried hybrid bearings for my bottom bracket. I wasn't impressed. So I'm just going to stick with regular bearings unless you go all out and get the XD15 real expensive ones. But that's like an extra $200 a hub to get those expensive bearings. So I don't see the benefit, and the ROI is negligent. Let's see how long that goes. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you later.